Roger Cleveland from the Waterboro Republican American. Paige, first of all, was it your decision to jump and you turned to the team and flexed? I mean, was that what was going on there?
It was sort of a discussion. It wasn't long. I was going to win that discussion, but once we found out Aaliyah wasn't playing, it was either me or Ice, and I was like, yeah, I got it. But
The kid she jumped against was one of her teammates, and she let her do it.
Nah, Liza, she didn't let me do that. But anyway, yeah, I don't know if they had the most confidence in me, like the confidence I had in myself to win the jump ball. So I just let them know a little bit.
I wanted to put Nesh in there and do our best Eddie Goodell, but they don't know who he is, so it would have fallen on deaf ears.
Question from Pat in the front left.
Pat Eatonrod with the Associated Press. Paige, with Aaliyah out, you obviously knew going into the game that you were going to need to do a little bit more. What was your mindset going into the game and getting your teammates' confidence up?
My mindset really was, I was focused on rebounding. With Aaliyah out, that's a huge piece that we're missing. Aaliyah grabs every single rebound that comes off the rim. I mean, just leading the communication with our group. I thought me and Ice did a really good job of talking on the switches, on when to guard who in the post, try to keep her inside as much, and try to keep me outside. But just communicating, leading by example, leading by passion, leading by the energy that I played with, and just leave it all on the floor. We know what we don't have, but we didn't want to focus on that. We wanted to focus who was on the floor, and we were confident in anybody that we put out there. So just rebounding and communicating was the focus.
Question in the middle here from Maggie.
Maggie Benoni, CT Insider. Ice, you knew that you'd be stepping in today and likely playing the whole game, which you did. How do you prepare for that mentally, knowing that there is no one else to come in for you?
I mean, I feel like in practice, coaches, teammates, we do a great job of trying to simulate that, going as hard as we can. He talks about the more you run the floor, the better you'll get at that. So just that week leading up, I tried to push myself as much. And obviously we didn't expect to not have Aaliyah, but I feel like just preparing definitely paid off. And I felt good out there, so yeah.
Front row, Brad.
Hi, Paige. Bradley, WNBA Swish. Your team had a lot of success in the paint this afternoon. Did you see Marquette do anything differently on defense, or did you have to adjust any offense for you to really get under the rim today?
It was a focus before the game. We're an undersized starting lineup, which has sort of weaknesses on the defensive end, but it makes them, if they go big, one of their bigs has to guard one of our guards. So it was a huge emphasis to get in the paint, create, try to attack mismatches, whoever had the big guy on them, and then create from there. So a huge emphasis going into the game was getting into the paint and creating from there.
Question up front from Dom.
Dom Amori, Hartford Current. Paige, the way you guys came out, very aggressive, very disruptive, even though you couldn't afford to get in foul trouble. It seems like you put them back on their heels right away and that they never really recovered from that. Is that what you guys were trying to do, knowing your position, to try to get that, kind of jump them a little bit?
Yeah, we wanted to start the game aggressive, sort of set the tone of what the rest of the game looked like, but we talked about it in the huddle leading up to the game, in the locker room, of just how focused and locked in we were going to have to be, especially, like you said, defensively, not getting into foul trouble, but also wanting to disrupt their offense and what they do in their flow. So I thought just starting the game out like that, sort of setting the tone, I thought we did a great job of that, balancing being aggressive and being smart at the same time.
Question in the middle from Emily.
Emily Adams, Hartford Current. Ice, Marquette's coach just talked a little bit about your defense today. Just how much do you feel like you've grown in that aspect of your game, and how did you kind of navigate the matchup with Carlin today?
I feel like that was, definitely an emphasis leading up to the game, with them having two post players, trying to navigate that. Lots of film, watching how to, read the duck in. Definitely struggled with that, and he gave me a hard time about that, so I made sure that I was locked in.
Who's he?
So I would say definitely an emphasis from the coaches, but done a great job of watching that film and going over it a lot in practice, making sure that they don't get that position because, again, once, they get it, it's over. So, yeah.
Question in the back right corner.
Hi, Kristen Parisi, Marquette Wire. This is for either of you. So at the beginning of the third quarter yesterday, Providence made a little bit of a run to kind of get back in the game, but today Marquette just really have any response. So how did you kind of use the energy coming out of the second half and, just like really blow them out of the park, especially after you hit the buzzer beater at the end of the third quarter, Paige?
Learning from yesterday, we wanted to come out and be aggressive the same way that we started the game. We wanted to start the half that way. And again, set the tone for what the rest of the half was going to look like. No game is won in the first 20 minutes, so we really emphasized that in the locker room that we needed to finish the last 20 minutes and play and leave it all on the court and start that third quarter strong.
Maggie?
Again, for Ice, this is only your first postseason, still your second postseason game. What was the best advice either Aaliyah or one of the upperclassmen gave you about what it takes to play in this time of the year?
Just being locked in, everything matters at this point, and I would say not wanting to have this be, our last game, go home, and I felt like that really stuck with me. So whatever I was feeling, like mentally, if I was frustrated or whatever, there was no time for feelings or anything like that, and just making sure that I needed to do whatever I needed to do to make sure, our team was locked in and we won, and I feel like we did that. Teammates did a good job of keeping us all focus on the same goal, and so just knowing that we have one goal in common, I feel like really helped us just lock in, and whatever mistakes happened, and we just moved on and focused on what the task was.
Got time for two more right up front. We'll go Pat and then Roger.
Paige, you held them to no points in the fourth quarter, 12 baskets on 54 shots. Can you just talk about the defensive effort in this game and the intensity, and what did you think you guys did better in this game than you have all season?
I think the biggest thing was the communication, the way we talked, the way we prepared in our shoot-around. Marquette's a really disciplined team in the offense that they run, so for us it was try to disrupt what they're comfortable with and try to get in passing lanes, deny their shooters. Me and Ice holding the paint down.
Holding the paint down.
But, I think the communication was the biggest piece. We knew we didn't have Aaliyah in the paint to get the rebounds to protect us, so we definitely had to lock in extra, communicate extra, and just pay attention to the scout and their tendencies.
Paige, can you describe what it was like to be out there playing that hard for so long? I mean, did you feel momentum? Did you feel the energy? You guys just looked so locked in. What did it feel like?
Yeah, from the opening tip, when we went on the 7-0 run to start the game, you just felt the hunger and the passion and the energy that we had. But it helped to get a strong start like that, but it continued throughout the whole entire game because we knew coming in that we had to play a full 40 minutes. Marquette's a great team, and they could go on a run at any point. So just to have that energy and the passion that we were playing with, it becomes contagious within each other. And anytime Marquette went on a run or we went through a drought, we stayed composed, stayed confident, and just kept playing our game.
Paige, Ice, thank you. We'll let you guys get back to the locker room.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.